Number 9, use the function of f of x to evaluate the limits at x equals negative 7 over 5. What I'm going to do here to evaluate my limits is I'm just going to look at this graph here. If I go to add the graph, I'm going to add it as a fraction. So hit Control Divide. Here's my fraction line. If our equation was 8x minus 1 over 5x plus 7. And I'll make sure I got this right. 5x plus 7, yes. Okay, and I hit enter. Now we want to evaluate the limits at x equals negative 7 over 5. And so to help us out, I'm just going to say menu actions text, because I can type in x equals negative 7 divided by 5. And I'll write it just the way they wrote it, and the calculator will automatically change it this way. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this over to the y-axis, or you could do it to the x-axis, and we'll add the line. So that's what the graph looks like. Now, I'm going to take a picture of this and write our limits. Here's what I'm going to do. Come over here, and we now know where we're looking for our limits. And I'm going to talk about what is this graph heading to as it approaches this blue line. Well, up here, the point it's heading to, the x we know is negative 7 over 5. The y value it looks like it's heading towards is positive infinity. If that makes sense, it's heading to negative 7 over 5 here and heading up to positive infinity. And on this side of the line, it's the x value it's heading towards, we know, is negative 7 over 5. That's where this graph is heading, but it's going down to negative infinity, like this. So when we write limits, we look, and if it's heading to the same x value, we're approaching two different things, or specifically if it's approaching either positive infinity or negative infinity for the y value, what we do is we symbolize if this is on the left side of the negative 7 over 5 or the right side. So this piece here is on the left side of this light blue line. So what we'll do when we write our limit is we'll put a little negative up here on the corner where an exponent would be. That symbolizes the left side, the left piece, or the left side of negative 7 over 5. And over here, since this piece is on the right, I'm going to put a little plus. So when we write our limits, here's what you always have. We always write limit, and then we'll name it, which this was f of x, which represents the y value, equals, and then you have x with your arrow. What is your x approaching? Well, this first limit up here, we'll put a 1 there so you know which limit I'm talking about. This first limit, it's approaching the x value. Remember, this is x here. This is y. The x is negative 7 over 5 with a minus, meaning left piece. And the y value is approaching is infinity. And then for the other limit, we'll call this limit number 2. Limit number 2, we would have, again, you always write limit, or lim, which stands for limit, of f of x, because it's the name of our function. That's the y. X approaches. Okay, the x value it's approaching, you see here, the x value is negative 7 over 5 with a plus, meaning the right side of negative 7 over 5. That's the x. And this is the y value, which f of x represents y, so we put negative infinity right there. These are my limits describing my end behavior right here.